What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the Sauber slash Stake team that's going to turn into Audi in 2026. And today we're going to talk about who do I think will get the seat for 2025 and potentially beyond starting into Audi. Now, I'm not like any other F1 or racing YouTuber who's going to make this a 25, 50-minute video. No, I mean, I'm recording this right now. I'm going to assume it's going to be anywhere between 7 and 13 minutes. And, I'm simply just going to be talking about who I think is going to get the ride and who actually has a legit shot. I have 4 people down that have a legit shot, and we're going to do a deep dive into them and talk about who do I think is going to get the seat. And real quick, before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much for 600 subscribers. You guys really don't know what that means to me. It really does mean a lot, like genuinely. I put so much time into this YouTube channel for it to get recognized and paid off to get 600 subscribers. It does mean a lot. It's no skin off your teeth just to go down and hit the subscribe button. I'm aiming for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you could get me to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, that would be much appreciated. Now, enough. Oh, and one more thing. Follow the Instagram. I always forget to plug that. Just go follow it. And now without that out of the way, let's talk about the 4 drivers. So how this is going to work is I'm just going to talk about the drivers, how they're doing, like if they're good, like if they have a legit shot. And at the end of it, out of 10, I will rank it on who I think gets the seat, 10 being the most likely and 1 obviously being not very likely. I won't give a 0 because obviously if I'm going to talk about them, I think they have somewhat of a chance. So now let's talk about the 2 current drivers in the team. And those 2 current drivers are Valtteri Bottas and Guan Yu Zhou. And I'm going to talk about Zhou Guan Yu first. And so Zhou Guan Yu came into F1 in 2022 as a rookie for what was Alfa Romeo at the team, but Alfa Romeo left the team at the end of 2023. And Zhou came in as a paid driver. He was bringing in a ton of money. And that's really why he got the seat over Antonio Giovinazzi. His F2 results were nothing to write home about. He picked up, a few feature race wins, sprint race wins here and there, but it was nothing to write home about. And ultimately, he got the seat off of money and sponsorships he brings to the team. And that's the only thing I think that keeps Zhou sort of in the running for this, because let's face it, he's completed 2 years. And so basically 2 years and 3/4 of the year, call it 3 years, he's done in F1. Bottas has outperformed him in qualifying and race, and it hasn't even been close. But the only thing keeping him in the running is his money, because if you're Audi and you're like, we don't want Zhou, but if you're Sauber and you're like, we got 1 more year, and Audi's also like, we also, because Audi does run that team now, it's just not under the Audi name. But you're like, we don't want him for 26, but what's the point of dropping him? We could just keep his money for 1 more year. So I do think that Zhou, just because they might want to keep his money for 1 more year, is definitely going to be in the running for this seat. And I give Zhou a 2 out of 10 for keeping his seat. The only thing I think keep him in is his money, and we'll have to see that is enough to keep his seat. But as you can see, I don't think it is, because I gave him a 2 out of 10. Now let's talk about his current teammate, Valtteri Bottas. Now he is currently 21st in a 20-car championship, which that's got to sting. But that does not reflect on Bottas' season. In 2022 and 2023, especially in 22 at the beginning, Bottas put in some unbelievable results. I think of a P5 at Imola and stuff like that. I mean, just drove some brilliant races for them, and was really kind of looked like a superstar in 2022. But that kind of fell apart in 23 and in 2024. But overall in 2024, he still consistently outperformed Zhou Guan Yu. It's just his relationship with the team has really changed, unfortunately. And it's not changed for the better. And that's why I have a hard time seeing Bottas staying. I really do. I really do think he'll either be in Rally or IndyCar next year. But Bottas really does do good, but it doesn't look good. He's out qualifying Zhou. He's out racing him, in my opinion. I mean, the stats back it up. But I mean, I think Bottas is a quality driver, and it's really hard to tell if he'll get the drive. But I really just don't see it. He's a 10-time race winner for Mercedes. We'll have to see. I give Bottas staying a 7 out of 10. It's just really hard for me to see Bottas in that seat. And now let's talk about 2 drivers that are not currently affiliated with that team. One is in Formula One, one isn't. Let's talk about the super outside shot, Sergio Perez. Now, I think the only way Sergio Perez becomes a factor is if Liam Larson tears it up in the Racing Bulls, and then you have to put Max and Liam in the Red Bull. And if you put Max and Liam in the Red Bull, I think Yuki will stay in the Racing Bulls. And I think for them it'd be a no-brainer to promote Isaac Hadjauer, who's currently P2 in the F2 standings. And if they don't go with Hadjauer, then I don't know who they're going with, because I don't see them putting Perez in the Racing Bull seat unless they put him there just in case Liam does bad. I don't know, but I don't see that happening. I think if Sergio gets dropped and he wants to stay in F1, he would try to get a multi-year deal to go with the Audi project. Now, Sergio Perez, I do think is a really good driver. I think he could be a quality driver with a car that suits his driving style. Now, it's no secret that the Red Bull does not suit his driving style whatsoever. That Red Bull is not a good car for him, and I think you put him in really about any other car, I think he would do really, really, really well. Now, hopefully, he's not like a Daniel Ricciardo, and this bad stint has ruined his confidence, because I do think if Daniel Ricciardo did not go to McLaren, he'd be a quality driver, and hopefully the same isn't for Sergio Perez. We'll just have to wait and see if that is his case. Hopefully not. I don't think so. But if Perez does get drafted from Red Bull and he signs a multi-year deal with Sauber, that would be really cool. Now, I give this move a 4 out of 10. I think it's very unlikely, but I think it could be on the cards if he doesn't go to Red Bull. Although I think if he doesn't go to Red Bull, he's more likely to retire, but who knows? Now we need to talk about the final guy, and he's a McLaren junior driver currently leading the Formula 2 championship, and he's a Formula 3 champion. Gabriel Bortoleto. Sorry, I know I butchered that name. I really practiced it, really about 30 minutes. Gabriel Bortoleto. There you go. I'm probably saying that wrong. If I am saying it wrong, let me know down in the comments below. I really did try practice saying that name. I even was looking at Tomo F1, his YouTube content, and Audis. I was listening to some of their videos on him, seeing how they were saying it, and it's just, yeah, I believe I'm saying it right. But I do think he's a very good driver. Like his Monza weekend, from last to first, insane. He's my pick to win the Formula 2 championship. I do think McLaren is doing everything they can to get him in the seat. And I think if they get him in the seat, I genuinely do think that if they get him in the seat, he will perform really well. I doubt if they get him in the seat, then they get him in the seat. That would have been no sense. But I think McLaren have a good shot at getting him in the seat. And I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. Because I do think McLaren are going to pay them to get him in the seat on a multi-year deal, which means he'll be a part of the Audi project alongside Nico Hülkenberg for a multi-year deal. And I really do think McLaren are going to push to get him in the seat. And I think the only thing that's giving him a shot at the seat, well, he's a Formula 3 champion and probably going to be a Formula 2 champion. So that says a lot about him. But I think it's McLaren pushing to get him in the seat. That's going to get him in the seat. And my pick is Gabriel to get the seat, and with a Bottas second. I don't see Joe and Perez, although it would be cool to see one of them keep their seat, more so Perez than Joe. But yeah, my pick is Bortoleto. So with that, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share, and see ya.